Hey guys, I have another excellent deep dive of a company called Anduril. What Anduril does is it's an American aerospace and defense company. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why Anduril is worth $14 billion, why the CEO and founder are just legendary operators, and why this company will be a generational defining company, which was very controversial back when it was created 4 or 5 years ago, actually 2018. So back when it was created in 2018, it was very controversial. Many VCs were not interested in investing in defense companies, but now the tide has changed. So let's talk about it. So estimates from various sources say that Anduril hit $420 million of revenue in 2023, which is 78% up from $236 million in 2022. And Anduril recorded $670 million in new contracts in 2023, up from 50%. For 2024, however, the company is expected to project revenues of closer to $1 billion and expects gross margins to be 40 to 45%. This company roughly has $750 million in cash on its balance sheet as of quarter 24. Anduril secured its first defense contract, which was a $12.5 million deal with the U.S. Marine Corps about a year after the company was founded. In 2020, Anduril was able to win a $1 billion contract, its first system integrator partner contract, and it was the biggest acquisition category and contract to its date. So let's talk about gross margins. Anduril's gross margins of 40 to 45% is significantly higher than traditional defense primes, who typically have margins of 8 to 10%, because Anduril sells its products as commercial items at fixed costs negotiated with the government rather than cost plus models where traditional defense primes participate. This product centric commercial model enables SaaS like margins even on hardware by having low hardware costs and having a subscription model on top of it. While Anduril doesn't disclose their customer acquisition cycles, because they're selling to governments, the sales cycles for defense is very long, 18 to 24 months minimum to get into a major program. With lots of investment in R&D, prototyping, and field testing required to win these contracts, Anduril's large fundraisers are needed to provide the capital to attack these long sales cycles, but once they win the contracts, they will be able to secure large, predictable multi-year revenue streams. Now let's discuss the products. So, the founder of Anduril was Palmer Luckey, who used to be the co-founder of Oculus VR before it was purchased by Meta. Palmer Luckey is a once-in-a-generational operator who had a vision of attacking the defense categories, and he decided that he wanted to start off with a product called Lattice. So Lattice is basically the cornerstone of Anduril's suite of products, which is an AI software platform designed to integrate data from a multitude of sensors and systems, enabling real-time situational awareness and data-driven decision-making. Lattice is designed to ingest massive amounts of data from various sources, such as cameras, radars, and other sensors, and apply advanced machine learning algorithms to learn, identify, detect, and target multiple targets simultaneously. This enables defense agencies and border control to effectively monitor vast areas with minimal supervision, as Lattice can automatically detect and alert their operators with potential threats and anomalies. Lattice can perform tasks like object recognition, behavior analysis, and predictive modeling. Lattice can also detect between different vehicles, identify suspicious movements, and anticipate potential threats as well. To augment Lattice, Anduril has a series of other hardware products that they sell as well, including Anvil, which is a kinetic counter-drone system, Ghost 4, which is an autonomous tactical drone assembled in 3 minutes that can fly silently for 60 minutes, Altius, which is a drone with 4 models that can deploy from air, land, and sea, and Dive LD, which is an underwater autonomous vehicle that can do surveys and run surveillance up to 6,000 meters. A cool thing about Anduril's technology is that there's a lot of autonomy. By leveraging machine learning, Anduril's drones, towers, and sensors can operate with minimal supervision and free up personnel for other critical tasks. For example, the GOAT UAS can autonomously navigate to designated waypoints, avoid obstacles, and coordinate with other drones, such as sentry towers can automatically detect and track targets and alert operators only when a potential threat is identified. This is incredibly important because the autonomy is basically a force multiplier because a small team of operators can effectively control and monitor a large fleet of drones and sensors. Now, with Lattice being the central nervous system for the suite of hardware products, processing and analyzing data from various hardware platforms is necessary to provide a comprehensive and real-time picture of this battlefield. This integrated approach allows the seamless coordination between different assets, enable for rapid and data-driven decision making. For example, if a sentry tower detects a suspicious vehicle, it can automatically dispatch a GOAT USS without needing any supervision. If the vehicle is confirmed as a threat, Anvil can be deployed to neutralize it. With that being said, let's talk about the business model. The business model is essentially SaaS plus hardware. Anvil's business model is a sophisticated fusion of SaaS platform and a suite of AI-powered hardware products. As we all know, Lattice is the center and the heart of the model, which is a SaaS product, and customers pay a recurring fee to access Lattice's capabilities, which include object detection, tracking, and data fusion. When a customer gets started with Lattice, Android can then offer them other hardware products as add-ons to enhance their capabilities and value to platform as cross and upsells. For example, a customer using Lattice can utilize who purchase like border surveillance, for example, might be upsold sentry towers to provide automated monitoring or ghost USS for aerial coverage. This model allows Android to capture a larger share of the value chain by providing both the software and hardware components of the solution, which increases revenue per customer as well as creates a more integrated and sticky product ecosystem. By controlling both the software and hardware, Android can ensure optimal performance and compatibility between the different components. Android Industries flipped the traditional business model of defense contracting. Instead of waiting for requests of proposals from government agencies, Android has gone after a strategy where to take on R&D burden upfront, allowing them to offer pre-developed cutting-edge solutions to the Department of Defense and other allied military forces worldwide. This product-centric approach is a key differentiation for Android. By taking our R&D risk, Android can get to market much more quicker through the traditional multi-year government acquisition phase. With that being said, Android has fixed pricing. By executing costless contracts and instead doing their R&D upfront, they can sell the products at a fixed price. Android can earn almost 40 to 50% gross margins on its software systems with low hardware costs and high software content. Despite the one-off nature of the hardware sales, because this is a military slash government market, the company employs phrasing as a service approach, where its software-defined systems are consistently updated with new features and capabilities as part of an ongoing fixed-price service contract. This ensures Android's products don't go obsolete and the customers continuously benefit from the latest breakthroughs without having to buy a whole new system. Let's talk about the competition. Now, the category Android's competing in is defense primes category, which is large defense primes such as Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Raytheon, and others. Android's primary competition is the difficulty of displacing these primes, which is the biggest challenge as that means they need to change the world of procurement so they can get the best products out for the cheapest price. The 10% of the largest defense contractors account for 80% of all the aerospace and defense revenues, reflecting the advanced and continuing consolidation in the sector. These incumbents benefit from massive scale, entrenched customer relationships, and deep political influence. The primes are also not ignoring the rapid technological advancements in areas like advanced systems, artificial intelligence, and software-defined hardware. Instead, each of the major primes have established its own venture capital arm to invest in startups innovating in these fields. They're also developing their own competing product lines in-house. For example, Boeing is developing an autonomous fighter jet called MQ-28 Ghostbat. These primes rely on the traditional cost plus contracting model where they have little incentive to innovate rapidly or drive down costs. Their offerings tend to be bespoke one-off products designed to detailed government specifications rather than more flexible and iteratively developed commercial items. Sustaining their large overhead means they need to continuously win these large contracts, incentivizing political maneuvering rather than pure technological superiority. Let's talk about startups now. Startups in the same space as Android. Android's most direct startup competitor is Shield AI, which is applying autonomy and AI to power unmanned defense systems. Shield AI has won several high-profile contracts for its AI pilots and now is expanding into the additional domains like space and underwater. Other startups like Palantir, SpaceX, and Relatively Space are also challenging the primes in their respective domains. Which each of these companies may compete for Angel for some contracts, they're collectively validating that the thesis that the software-first startups can win against the primes by moving faster and leveraging best practices from the commercial world. Finally, the markets that these defense startups are going to is not best understood as a single monolithical market because you can have two program managers that have completely different acquisition strategies using different colors of money. So it's a conglomeration of micro markets, and they're all very different. Let's talk about total addressable market and how Anduril can become a $50 to $100 billion company. With the global power dynamics shifting from the rise of China and resurgence of regional powers like Russia, the US and its allies are facing more complex and contested security environment. Existing policies have disproportionately served big defense contractors are now currently under review by the Pentagon as there's growing recognition that traditional acquisition process is too slow and rigid to keep pace with the rapid technological advancements shaping modern warfare. With this being said, there's opportunity for Anduril to start gaining traction in selling to governments. These companies are leveraging technology like AI, for example, to develop solutions that can address the evolving threats and challenges of the 21st century. VCs were also relatively hesitant to invest in defense sectors due to perceived regulatory barriers, or now begin to recognize the massive potential in the space as well. Between January and March 2023, the U.S. VCs market invested $17 billion into defense and aerospace, which in 6 months was more than the entirety of 2019. Now, the U.S. budget is extremely large as they're the leader in military spending almost $730 million for the Department of Defense. Combining that with the NATO allies, the spending exceeds almost $1 trillion. This is a massive opportunity for Anduril to develop cutting-edge defense technology and capture this market. The Pentagon also earmarked $1.7 billion for autonomous technologies aimed for enhancing speed and maneuver, and another $800 million for AI initiatives. Now, Anduril is strategically positioned to capitalize on this massive market opportunity. The company's proven track record in developing game-changing technologies like Lattice AI, Ghost UAS, and Anvil Interceptor has established itself as a leader in the emerging defense tech space. Anduril's unique business model, which emphasizes speed, agility, and continuous innovation, gives it a significant advancement and advantage over the slow-moving incumbent primes. Now let's talk about risk, and I feel like there's two risks to discuss. The first is friction and procurement practices. If the Pentagon procurement practices remain rigid and continue to favor established defense contractors, Shield AI, for example, may find it difficult, as well as Anduril, to secure long-term contracts. And also the government's lackadaisical long-term sales cycles, which means that it's been typical practice for DoD to spread contracts around the country to win to different contractors as part of a winning political support and decentralizing the supply chain. This can hinder Anduril's growth and ability to dominate if they're spreading the contracts out. But with that being said, I believe that Anduril has a really great future, and I think their founder is a once in a generational talent. Thank you guys for watching the video, and please subscribe to my channel. Let me know what other videos or topics you want to see.